Come on in. Let's go.
Baby, I love you too, Timmy.
Oh, that's all right. Just throw it. Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right, guys. We'd like to officially welcome you to
Thanks, bro.
the Varsity Tennis Team Senior Night. You know, it's kind of interesting. We've had Mr. Chance come into our classroom, and he kind of talks about successful programs, and he talks about how, you know, there's a big drop-off between, you know, players that start a sport in freshman year, you know, versus sophomore year. You know, and after, you know, he made that comment, I thought, you know what? We have 14 seniors on our varsity tennis team. That's probably more than any sport in this school, including football.
That's true. That's true.
Including football. We have more seniors that have stuck with our program than any other sport. And that's a testament to you guys, right? That's a testament to your perseverance. That's a testament to the enjoyment that you have out here. And it's a testament to our winning, right? It's a testament to our winning. We ended up the season 16 wins and 6 losses, which in, you know, the history of Maine East, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So I'd like to start out here by starting out with Partey.
Yeah, what a party!
Yeah, Partey, you know, Partey had an interesting season. He, you know, he kind of started out like a house on fire, right? You know, and, you know, we're looking for great things, but then he got hurt. He got hurt. And, you know, we're so competitive. As soon as he was hurt, it's, you know, it's kind of like a eagle jumping on a gopher. You know, somebody challenged him and beat him, took his spot, right? But, you know, in a testament to Partey, you know, he could have stopped coming, could have stopped trying. He's here. He's been here the whole time, and he's continued to try, and he's had a great attitude. And Partey, you know, you've been a great student in class, and you've been a great player, so congratulations. Okay, we have some...
You like some long talks for summer, you know? I know.
Okay, let him. Okay, Vadim is another one of those solid players that's been with the program for 4 years. You know, has participated in summer camps, worked very hard, and you know, I said this before, Vadim, I still think you've got the best volley on the team. I think you're the most aggressive at the net, and I appreciate that. And Vadim's kind of had his ups and downs as well. He started out well, but then got sick, got ill, had to miss some matches, and you know, with our philosophy of always compete, you know, if you snooze, you lose, right? Because somebody takes your spot. But again, Vadim, you know, kept pushing, and whenever he was called upon, he played exceptionally well. You gave Maine South everything they needed, or everything they wanted yesterday. So we're gonna miss you.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Woo!
I couldn't do that. Thanks.
Okay. Edgar. Edgar. Edgar, when I think of 2 words, I think of compete. Because every time we would come out to a practice, the first words out of Edgar's mouth were, "Coach, can I challenge somebody?" And he was a fierce competitor, always representing what's best about our team, and that is, if you got to compete for your position, right? You got to compete for your position every day, which is a good lesson for life. But the same thing applies in life, right? You know, there's no free lunches. You have to work at it, and Edgar gave his all. Again, all 4 years. All 4 years. Came to summer camp. You know, just been a solid citizen. Had some key wins for us. So Edgar, we're gonna miss you. Okay, Samson. I had the light to have Samson both in class and on the court this year, and he's been part of our VEI class, which has been a new class, as some of you know. He's done a great job there in the IT department. He's also done a great job on the tennis court. I still think you have the best serve on the team, Samson. And I think if you had time to work on it, you know, it would be totally awesome. But Samson put that to good use this year. He had some key wins for us, and I'm going to miss him. Okay, Rahi. So, Rahi is not only a competitor on the court, but he's a great competitor off the court. You know, I had an opportunity to work with him in some DECA competitions.
It was close.
The positive side of DECA competitions.
It was close, but no cigar.
He and Aneri put together a presentation that is by far the best I have ever seen given by a high school student. You know, unfortunately, they didn't qualify because of the technicality, but it was just awesome. And I literally sent that to all the teachers here at Maine East, and I don't know, it's got like 200 views now. But you know, it's the effort he put in there is the same kind of effort he put in on the tennis court, and the same kind of effort he put into you know, applying to college. And I think you all know he's going to be a Princeton man next year. And I think those characteristics that have led to your success so far, Rye, are going to serve you well after you leave Maine. So we're going to miss that.
Serve you well.
Hey, Daniel.
Always got to remember to talk about his life.
I don't know if you know, but Daniel is an entrepreneur. You know,
Fake
he has a great future ahead of him. You know, and to be an entrepreneur, you have to be exceptionally flexible, exceptionally motivated, and Daniel, that's who you are. That's who you are in the classroom. That's who you are on the tennis court. And that's why you had success in both. And you've been a big contributor to this team. And you're going to leave a big hole. So we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you.
What? He does.
Perfect present.
So, Jimmy is one of my 2 prodigal sons. I explained to you what a prodigal son is, right?
Thanks, man.
No.
Okay. Well, you should know.
No.
What explain?
The guy that returned, something for Christianity, the guy who returned.
No, the story of the prodigal son is there's the father that has 2 sons, right? And one of the sons leaves, and the other son stays and is very loyal, and then the son that left comes back, and the father celebrates because the prodigal son has come back, and the one that says, well, what, you know, I stayed. Why, you know, why are you celebrating? And it was like, hey, we're a family, right? You know, when one of our own come back, we welcome them. And so we thought you weren't going to be here this year, right? You probably thought you weren't going to be here this year, but you did come back, and and you have contributed, had some key wins for us, and you're one of the reasons for 16-6. So we're gonna miss you.
Woo!
Tim.
Here's your fireworks.
Alright, show the post.
Tim's one of those great success stories of our program. You know, he probably the one player that improved the most over the 4-year period. You feel you probably improved dramatically. Yeah, you know, from where he started freshman year to where he is now, just tremendous improvement, and it shows when effort is put in, solid effort and solid concentration, what can result. And you know, as a result, Tim, you're a key part of our team. You're a leader and a big reason that we got 16 wins. So I'm gonna miss you.
Woo!
Timmy!
Michael.
That's him.
Michael!
So, can I post in front of you?
No problem.
Okay, alright. So, Michael is kind of misplaced on the tennis court. He really should be in that stadium playing football.
He got you. That was a big boy.
But
I was a football player.
he was a football player. He was, and probably a darn good one.
I know, I'm starting left end.
But you know, he had a lot of choices kind of through his career, because he did play football, you did swim, right? And I remember one time, one afternoon, he came up to me. He said, "Coach, I don't know what I should do. Should I swim or should I play tennis?" And
Water polo or tennis. Yeah,
water polo or tennis. And I said, "You know, Michael," I said, do what you want to do. Do what you think is going to help you the most, and that you're going to benefit the most fun. It's the most fun, and it's the most fun for you. And so then he told me he was going to play water polo. The next day he comes out, he goes, "Coach, I'm not going to play water polo. I'm going to play tennis." So, Michael, I'm glad you made that decision, because you've been a big winner for this team. Christian.
Yeah, Christian.
There it goes!
Christian has, for me anyway, has been the big surprise. Has been the big surprise. You know, he asked when Michael couldn't play. You know, I said, "Hey, Coach, can I play third singles?" You know, and I thought, what the heck, you know? And you know, he went out and he played, and I started watching him, and you know, it's like, wow, he's really good, right? And you know, probably the best evidence of that was last night against Maine South. Right?
Christian!
Yeah! He got the big W against a tough player. You lost the third?
I lost the second set.
Yeah, no, but have you lost anybody this year in third singles?
Yeah, the GBN and Duke.
Oh, Jerby and okay. All right, we'll give you a yes. But
I'm not gonna say that.
you know, one of the things as a coach, and you know, Christian really represents us well, because he's probably the most vocal on the tennis court. You know, and when other coaches watch him, you know, because because he is so intense and loud and vocal and emotional. You know, it's like, is this guy, you know, is this guy just, you know, trying to be distracting, or is he really that intense, and is he really that strong a competitor? And they all come back to me and say, "You know what? You know, I wanna compliment you." You know, they talk about you, Christian, but they talk about our team in general. You know, he said, "You know, you guys are just, you know, you're fierce competitors, but your players are gentlemen, right? You know, if somebody hits a good shot, you know, you're clapping your hands and congratulating them, and you know, just enjoying the game, and you're not, you know, your intensity is not, you know, to distract the player. It's just, it's kind of like, you know, a lot of tennis players where you're just into the match. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for. No, I'm not done.
Oh, it's not done. Okay. Yeah.
I want to thank you for suggesting that you should play third singles. So, congratulations.
He's like, where's
My ear.
Yeah. Taco Bell.
Oh my God. Hey, you guys okay? Okay, all right. My ear is another, you know, I think you guys know, another solid system. I've been playing first doubles now for 2 years. Yeah, first doubles, you know, kind of taking his licks, but each year you've gotten much better. You know, and you know you've had some really good competition. You've won several times this year, and even the matches you lost, you played outstanding. You know, I think when even the Deerfield and Highland Park coaches look at our doubles teams, and especially our first doubles team, it's like, yeah, you guys are solid. You got really good players. You know, the fact that we beat Niles West again this year, you know, as well as Maine West. You know, I mean, those were good, solid wins. So we're gonna miss you, Mayor. You have been a linchpin of the team. You've been a you know, a foundational piece and a good role model for all of us. So best of luck.
silent killer? Yeah, silent killer.
Okay, Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie.
Robbie's my second prodigal son. Right? You know, he was. You know, the word was he wasn't coming out, and you know, and I thought, geez, that's too bad. You know, 'cause I think we all know Robbie's a good player. But he came back. He came back, and you know, as a result, we were a better team for that. Robbie again brings an intensity to the court, a competitiveness that you know is something you can't teach. And I think as a result, you had some key wins for us, Robbie, that resulted in our winning matches. So, so we're gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you. So
I'm gonna miss you, Robbie.
I'll miss you too. Oh, Ranu.
okay. Peter.
You got that video, Ranu? The silent killer.
Alright, yeah. Peter, you know, if I were to describe you as a player, I would say you lead by example. The way you conduct yourself on the court is outstanding. You know, I think anybody that plays you probably comes away obviously knowing they played a really good player, but also knowing that they've played a really intense competitor. And although you don't physically show that or verbally show that, there's a quiet intensity inside you that you know, you just don't give up. I've seen that in the classroom in BEI. I've seen you know, and I've obviously seen that on the court. So again, those kind of characteristics are gonna serve you well. So we're gonna miss you. Hey, did I miss anybody? Edward, come here. Ah, yes, another entrepreneur. Yes. Edward is probably the coolest kid on the team, don't you think? He's got style. He's got, you know.
Look at his shoes, right?
Daniel, your dad's here.
I mean, yeah.
Daniel, let's do joggers.
He has orange shoes on too before.
Yeah, the orange shoes. Yeah. But you know, he's you're the same way in the classroom. He's got a phenomenal attitude, right? You know, people like to be around him. He's very responsible. He's very intense. You know, I remember last year. You know how you think about incidents. You know, you were sick. Yeah, very sick. And we had a match, and he was so concerned that, you know, that I needed to know that he couldn't make it. I mean, he was like on his deathbed. He came out to the courts and said, "Coach, you know, I can't play. I'm just very, very sick." I mean, go home. But that's who you are. You take your responsibility seriously, and you know, in the last 2 years, I don't know. Again, I don't know how you feel, but I think your tennis game has improved dramatically. And as a result, you've contributed to the team. Been a big reason why we've won several matches. So, and I miss it. I miss it.
You're the flowers.
Here you go. All right.
Good job.
Okay. Well, we have our senior
Oh,
Jessica.
Oh my God! You're back. You're back, guys. Good return.
All right. We haven't seen a lot of Jessica.
We haven't seen Jessica.
Yeah, these warm-ups are as a result of Jessica.
Fashion statements.
I lost them, man.
You know, we're Jessica. We're feeling pretty good about her.
Jessica was scouting the other team.
Jessica started. But I don't know if you guys know, they have this award each month called Maine's Best. And you know, like like for 1 month it might be academics, for another month it might be philanthropy, for another month. And so the teachers have an opportunity to nominate students for this award. And it's very competitive. It's very competitive. So. This past month, there were a variety of teachers, including myself, coaches, that nominated Jessica for Maine's Best Extracurriculars, and Jessica won it for Maine East. Jessica won it for Maine East, and I think you all know she's pretty darn involved. She's a Rotary president, co-founder. She's a great musician. She's obviously a great tennis player.
H2O.
And, so she's done a lot of good things for Maine East. She's done a lot of good things for our girls. Hey guys, our girls tennis team, as well as our boys tennis team. Thank you again, Jessica. So we're gonna miss you.
Yeah. That's a good year.